Okay, this is Charu Das. I'm driving the car, which is, don't try this at home. But Hanuman's with me, and we're driving up to Salt Lake City to Eastwood Elementary School. It's Tuesday, the 23rd of February, and the school has asked us to do a PowerPoint presentation on Indian culture and religion for an entire school assembly. There will be about 380 kids there, as well as the faculty. And then we're going to do kirtan afterward. Believe in reincarnation. Do you see this graphic here? Can everyone see that pretty well? Is this one person or many different people? One person, right. It's one person. Maybe you can't see it too well. One person as they go through their life cycle. Now the next question I want to ask is it one body or many different bodies? It's many different bodies, that's right, because the body's always changing, especially at your age. Your parents know how quickly your bodies are changing. They have to buy you new shoes every 3 months, new clothes. So in fact, every 7 to 10 years, all the cells of our body will have died and been replaced by new ones. So if you live 80 years, you'll have reincarnated about 10 or 12 different times. You'll have had 10 or 12 completely different. Reincarnation just means your body's changing. Isn't your body changing? Okay, that's all it means. So you're reincarnating right now. As we sit here, we're all reincarnating. Our bodies are changing. One professor from Oxford University, he wrote a book on Hinduism, and he subtitled it 33 million gods. Whew, that's a lot of gods, huh? But where do they all come from? They all come from one God, right? They all come from one God. Just like in America, we have one president, but then there's a cabinet. And the cabinet ministers are in charge of different departments. So similarly in the universe, there are gods in charge of different departments, but they all come from one God. So you might have heard about the 3 famous gods. Have you heard about Brahma, the creator, Shiva, the destroyer, and Vishnu, the preserver? But in India, it's interesting to see which one they believe is the greatest, the creator, the preserver, or the destroyer. Now let's say your parents build a house. They buy some land, they build a house. Now they pay a contractor to build the house, don't they? That contractor can say, I'm the creator of the house, right? He's not lying, is he? But who's the real creator? Your parents. Your parents. They paid the contractor, right? After some time, your parents might want to tear down that house and build a new one. So then they bring someone else along who tears down the house. They pay him to tear down the house, right? And he can say, I tore down the house, and it's truthful, but actually it was your parents who empowered him to tear down the house. See what I'm saying? Now, who lived in the house between the act of creation and the act of destruction? Who lives in your house? Your parents, right? They own it, they created it, they destroyed it. So who's the greatest? Who do you think's the greatest now? Parents, and the parents are what? Preserver, right. So Vishnu is considered the greatest of all the gods. He's like the God of the Old Testament. And when he lets his hair down, then he's known as Krishna. When he relaxes, he's known as Krishna. Just like that. So Vishnu is God, but when he relaxes and lets his hair down, then he's known as Krishna. And here's the Krishna deity. Krishna is a name for God that means all attractive. Most people in India acknowledge Vishnu or Krishna as God. If you like architecture and you like temples, you want to go to Tamil Nadu. You fly into Chennai and go south to Trichy, Srirangam, Meenakshi, Mahabalipuram, to Rameshwaram, and just see all these ancient temples. Many of them are 1,200, 1,300 years old. Here am I at one of the largest temples. This is the largest Krishna temple. It's 250 acres, and there are 27 towers like the ones you see here. And there are 3 million carvings. From the epics Mahabharata and Ramayana, they have 18 to 20-inch carvings of all the scenes here. And there are 3 million carvings in this temple complex. It's called Sri Ranga. There are elephants outside of many of the temples in South India. And they will bless you, indicate yes. Not a real strong yes, but sort of a, I think that's good. You shake your head this way. Can you try it? Yeah. Okay, I'll ask you something. I'll ask you something, okay? Are you learning something from this presentation this afternoon? Yes! No. you want to be a little reserved. You want to be a little reserved. And let's say you're not quite sure. You think it's good, but you're not completely enthusiastic. Okay? So you just shake your head a little bit like this. Okay? Are you learning this afternoon? Just shake your head a little bit. Okay. Yeah, I think so. I think it's good. Okay? All right. Now, if you actually think you're learning a lot, it's really good. You know what else you do? You know what you add in addition? You go like this, and you go, acha. Acha. Okay. Acha means very good. So, all right, let me ask you this, okay? What do you think of this program this afternoon? Cha! Right. Okay, all right. Practice it a little bit. Okay, the last thing, if you're really enthusiastic, if you really like something, and this doesn't happen very often because Indians are kind of, you know, they're not as committal as we are. But if they're really positive about something, they do three things. They shake their head like this, they go, acha, and they wiggle their eyebrows. Acha. Okay. Let me ask you one more time briefly. Are you enjoying this program that Paul put together? All right. Very good. Very good. Science, Indian science. Very interesting. Okay, let me go through it. But here, 1,000 years before Christ, 1,000 years before Christ, Indian astrologers calculated the Earth's diameter to be 7,840 miles, and modern measurements 7,926 miles. That's a difference of only 80 miles. 3,000 years ago, they calculated the distance between the Earth and the Moon is 253,000 miles. Modern measurements are only, what, 90 miles off of that? Isn't that amazing? 2,600 years ago, there were 125 described surgical instruments, and even brain surgery was performed. They knew how to put people to sleep during surgery as well. The Sanskrit words for geometry and the words that we use, geometry and trigonometry, are Sanskrit words, in fact. The concept of zero originated in India in the 2nd century BC. The decimal system was developed in India 1,000 years before Christ. Albert Einstein said we owe everything to India because without them we wouldn't have zero, we wouldn't have decimals, and we wouldn't have pi either. Yeah, that'd be hard to live without chocolate pie, banana pie. Wow, thank you, India.